Coming up on Mountain News this morning, doctors in our region hope to reduce its patient readmission rate with some new equipment. And an Eastern Kentucky school district helps get students prepared for the real world after graduation.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning to you. It's Thursday and it's 6:01 here. I'm Dakota Makris. Thanks so much for waking up with us. And we have some news here. I need to read it from my phone, so bear with me. Superintendent Jonathan Jett said that Leatherwood Elementary here in Perry County will be closed today due to a power outage, but all other Perry County schools will be on a regular schedule. Let's take it over to Brandon Robinson for a look at our forecast. Brandon, good morning to you.
Good morning. And yeah, the forecast is a little bit iffy out there this morning. Good to know about that power outage. I have to check those numbers here in a minute so we have any more out there this morning. Let's take a look and see what's going on currently with weather. And we're continuing to scan. Again, some rain to the south and some freezing rain potential to the north. Not seeing any icing on any of the cameras, but reports coming out of central Kentucky are a little bit rough there in some spots. So we're keeping a close eye on that for you this morning. Zooming into some of our heavier rain bands down toward parts of Harlan County, Letcher County, and into parts of southwest Virginia. So keep an eye on that as we head out the door this morning. We've already had quite a bit of rain, up to about 2 inches there along the Kentucky, Virginia, and Tennessee borders earlier this week, and now we're picking up some more this morning. Temperatures in Wise, 52. Temperatures in Moorhead, 30. So a big contrast with that this morning. The news is the temperatures are going up all day long till 11:59 tonight. They will be going up, and that'll be our daytime high right there just before midnight. But it is a cold start to the day in some counties this morning. Paducah's at 28, Cincinnati's at 30, Louisville is at 32, but it's 49 in the Tri-City. So 51 is our average high this time of the year. The forecast high, like I said, just before midnight should get to about 56. Record high, 79, back on this day in 2017. Dakota?
Well, we have some breaking news out of Eastern Europe right now. NATO has agreed to beef up its air, land, and sea forces on its eastern flank near Ukraine and Russia after Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered a military offensive in Ukraine. NATO ambassadors said in a statement after emergency talks this morning that, quote, "We have increased the readiness of our forces to respond to all contingencies," end quote. Well, back here in the Commonwealth, folks in Powell County are preparing for possible flooding. Allie Blake was there to see what they are doing to stay safe.
After back-to-back systems and heavy rainfall, waterlogged communities are preparing for the next storm. Powell County Emergency Management says it's important to prepare before the water rises.
We have a great partnership with neighboring counties. We're prepared to call on them if necessary. Our local fire departments are great. Stanton Fire has a swiftwater rescue team. Recently they acquired a new boat, and they're all on the ready from Middle Fork to Clay City to Stanton. All of our units are ready to move as needed.
Powell County only has one river gauge. Officials have to check it often when storms move in and the water rises. They also have implemented new additions to prevent widespread flooding. From
a canal in Clay City to a new bridge set up in the Adams Ridge side of Clay City, so that in the future, when these things which are becoming more and more inevitable, when they do come, it'll have less of an impact on our residents.
The Clay City Fire Department took us around to areas that flood often, including Adams Ridge and Pompey Road. It's important not to drive on flooded roads because you never know how deep the water can be.
Because a lot of people say, well, I stayed in the middle. Doesn't matter. You don't know if the mud has caused the sides of the roads to give away. So that's why signs are up. As little as 6 inches of water can move an entire vehicle off of the road. Also, if water rises rapidly, to move to higher ground. I said, if you see high water, go to the dry area, stay dry ground. And dry ground means when your feet's not wet. If the water starts to go over the riverbanks and cover roadways, it's important to report it to officials so they can make sure they keep others safe. In Powell County, Allie Blake, WKYT.
Daniel Boone National Forest officials say a series of prescribed burns will start this month in the forest. Now, the purpose is to reduce the risk of wildfires and increase wildfire habitat diversity. Officials say additional firefighting personnel and equipment will be on site, and some roads and trails may be closed for public safety during prescribed burns. Many people who had COVID but recovered are seeing lingering health issues weeks to months after recovery. Now, something new doctors say they have seen patients suffer from post-COVID or heart problems. Now, they have seen patients that previously had heart issues, but they are also seeing patients that have no previous heart health issues complain.
COVID is a multi-organ system disease. It's not just the lungs. It definitely affects the heart. So when you're actually sick with it, you can get an inflammation called myocarditis. You can get an inflammation of the surrounding of the heart called pericarditis. You can even get problems with the electrical pattern of the heart because of that inflammation.
Well, Dr. Worthy says there are several case studies on the effect COVID can have long-term on your heart, but it is still under research. And Baptist Health Corbin partnered with Sensible Medical in hopes of reducing hospital readmissions for patients living with heart failure. Our Jade Saylor spoke with medical professionals about the new device they are using.
Baptist Health Corbin partnered with Sensible Medical about 6 months ago to use the REDS device to monitor patients with heart failure.
Looking at our data, trying to say how can we decrease readmissions around heart failure patients.
The device was originally created by the Israeli army to look through walls, but it is now monitoring fluid in patients' lungs.
There's this new piece of equipment that you could put on the patient within a minute, know whether there was extra fluid in the lungs, not enough fluid in the lungs, or they were normal.
The goal when using the device is to keep heart failure patients from readmission to the hospital.
While it may prolong the time that they're in the hospital, it can prevent them from coming back to the hospital.
Normal lung fluid sits between 25 to 35%. Doctors monitored one patient with the device who sat at 50%, and that was able to determine effective medication.
We were able to see that reading came down almost to normal. It was still in the 40s, but it wasn't at 50. And so that allowed that patient to go home, to follow up in the clinic, and stay out of the hospital.
Readmission for heart failure patients is typically between 15 and 25%.
They love the REDS. One of our physicians in particular wants a reading every single day on her patients so that she knows, is this patient improving? Are they closer to being ready to go home?
Doctors and patients say they love the REDS device because it decreases blood work and saves time when determining results. In Corbin, Jade Saylor, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, doctors say they are just at the beginning of how to implement it, but the results they are seeing are positive so far. Well, Kentucky lawmakers are working to address the nursing shortage in the state. A Senate committee passed a bill aimed at retaining and recruiting nurses, but members of the Kentucky Nursing Association say SB 10 does not go far enough. They propose paying nursing faculty more money and providing retention bonuses to nurses that remain in Kentucky.
But this is not just related to hospitals, it's related to long-term health care facilities, anybody else who relies on nursing.
SB 10 passed unanimously out of committee in a 10-0 vote. Officials with the Floyd County School District are celebrating Career and Technical Education Month by recognizing those within the field. Our Jordan Mullins has more from the Floyd County Area Technology Center and talked to officials about how important these courses are to students in the area.
The Floyd County School District is raising awareness on career and technical education and the talented educators and students throughout the county.
We have an excellent trades talent pool here in Eastern Kentucky.
But also discussing just how important it is for students to be able to explore various career options at a young age.
They get a chance to do some exploration and find out what it is they really want to do and how do they feel like they could support their family with this.
From health sciences to trades such as welding and auto mechanics, opportunities are available to prepare the workforce of tomorrow.
We see the academic student that wants to get their foot in the door, maybe with the engineering side of it. We see some of that. We also see students that have a very trades mindset goal, focused goal on the pathway that they want to take towards their career.
A passing of the torch.
You have a generation that is, of course, aging, and we have to have tradespeople, CTE people, to come up and fill their shoes because, I mean, that's the backbone of our country.
To the next generation of tradespeople. In Floyd County, Jordan Mullins, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, Dr. Shannon also said seeing gender barriers broken in career and technical education has been a great thing to see through the years.
6:11 here on this Thursday morning. We are tracking heavy rain. We're tracking the possibility for some freezing rain the last few hours. And we're also tracking something else. Fog, dense fog out there this morning. So again, be careful. Anything less than 5 miles on this map is really dense fog, and we've got zero visibility at the Pike County Airport and over at the Logan County Airport. So just continue to be careful this morning as you head out the door. Temperature sensor continues to stay out at hazard, but everything else is working up there. I have to try to check with them on that, see what's going on. But you see temperatures in the northern counties freezing or below, and then you see southern counties even close to 50 in some locations this morning. 56 tonight, right before midnight. Temperatures are going to go up through the day as a warm front pushes through the region. That's going to bring us rain, heavy at times. And as we look ahead, our headlines, the flood watch is back, which we knew it would be. River flooding is already ongoing in some areas and is likely for others. And a drier weekend, though, comes after all this mess moves out tomorrow. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you so much. It's 6:12 here. When we come back here on Mountain News this morning, a group of men plead guilty after their plans to attack the U.S. power grid. That's next.